Okay, welcome to another episode of Big Mouth Said Too Much podcast. You have myself up here, Levante, also known as Vontae, or either what was said. And I have my mother up here, Deshara, or either known as Nikia, she called herself, or some people call her Dee Dee, but I call her Ma Saunders. Just tell me your birthday sign, where you from, and one thing about you.
My birthday is December the 14th. I'm a Sagittarius, born and raised here in Virginia. One thing about me, I'm a cool ass mom. That's all I can say.
Okay, so we're gonna start this conversation off with a little brief icebreaker. If you could be the president for one day, what would you do?
Basically, I would try to get rid of the homelessness. Get rid of that. Well, not really get rid of it. Just try to find places for people to go get them the assistance to try to find a job, get off the drugs, get them into rehab, help people out that don't have the resources that we are needing to have out here in the world.
Okay, well, if I could be president for a day, I would literally get rid of all the the House of Delegates, House of Representatives, all of that. Because after watching Wakanda and what they said what um T'Challa said, what Boseman said was, y'all need all these people in one room to make a decision that needs only two people. And I thought about it, I'm just like, that is so true. Like, why we need all these people in this office to make a decision when it's gonna be a unanimous vote either way? Because it's gonna one part, one people, not people, one uh the party gonna have one vote, the other one gonna have a different. It's gonna be uneven. All it's gonna be uneven or even vote, and it's like, okay, we gotta vote again. Gotta vote again. Get rid of all of y'all and just need one person in particular to make all the decisions, or two people. That's it.
You're right.
If you could take away one law, what would it be?
One law I would say is the abortion.
Okay, I
I would
can't say
most
that
definitely take that away.
because I feel like nobody should tell somebody what to do. Like, I feel like the law I would take away is the right to bear arms. I feel like we don't need guns. I feel like if we didn't never had them, nobody would miss out on using them because we humans use them for the wrong reasons. We use it to power over people, and which we don't need to be that powerful. Like you think just because you got a gun, oh yeah, you got to do as I say now because I got power over you. So why should one human being or any human being have that power to just take over somebody just because they got a gun? I feel like nobody should have it. Like it should just be done with. Like get rid of it, put them up, or either if you're gonna have them, make it that it's harder to get them to the point where you get exhausted by trying to get a gun. That you just be like, forget it. I ain't got time. Too many red tape. I gotta go through a psych test. I got to do a listening test. They got to go through my past history, my medical history. We need to know everything about you. Like, we need to know if you went to the psychiatrist. We need to know where you piss and sneeze at. Are you a germaphobe? Are you not a germaphobe? Is your mama a convict? Is your mama not a convict? Who's the next of kin? Like, we need to know every little detail about you. So therefore, we need to know that if we know so much about you, you ain't gonna want us to know to the point where you be like, man, I don't want to get a gun now because they want to know my whole life story. Yes, we want blood. So I went on too much and rambling, but the topic today is about mental health. And I feel like this is a really good topic because I just feel like a lot of people don't take mental health seriously. What do mental health mean to you? Like what like how does that like how can I put it? Like what does it mean to you? Like
Mental health means to me your mind, your state of mind, and how you feeling and how you're going about the day. Because you can have a day where there's something that's really bothering you and you don't have the resources out there to talk to someone that's going to understand how you're feeling and what you are going through for that day. So mental health is to me, it's a strong issue that needs to be talked upon, but people shy away from it because they feel like, okay, you're using this as a way to get out of something because you want to be lazy or you want to try to collect a check. But it's not all about that. It really is not.
I feel like it's not because some people really out here have serious mental illness issues. I mean, you have schizophrenia, bipolar, and all that other stuff. And I'm just like, to me, I feel like what it means to me is like basically being in your healthiest mind state. I mean, set. Like actually being able to, if somebody push you to the limit, you able to not flip off the handle. You able to walk away and stand in it and it not bother you because some things can be mentally draining to the point where it's like, okay, I done broke. And it's like we humans, we all, put a lot of burdens upon ourselves that we know we shouldn't be taking on, but we do it anyway. But it's kind of hard to release those burdens because it's like we don't want to tell other people and put them burdens on another person. And just like they say, "Oh, tell your friends or family when you know what's going on, boy." You know, voice to them, but it's just like, okay, why do I want to put my burden upon you?
And it's not really the burden, is you feel like if you try to tell a family member, they gonna judge you and who you are as a person. They're not going to look at it as an, okay, this is my family and they just need someone to talk to. No judgment. Have a no judgment zone. Everybody has judgment about another person instead of saying, okay, I just want to be there for that person and just listen.
Yeah, that's all some people need is just somebody to listen. Should people take mental health more serious now that more stuff is going on?
Yes, it's more, you're seeing that now is
Hmm.
more mass shooting, like the shooting that just happened at Walmart. I saw the video of the young man at work and he was happy, cheerful. Then all of a sudden at night, boom, you you just snap. It's something that has been going on in his mind for years that had him to just go to that point that he felt like, hey, I had to take other people's lives along with my own life. If he had the tools and the resources or someone that could have talked to him, because I do believe he probably gave off little red flags or gave off certain points in his life where he was trying to tell people, hey, I need you. Listen to me. I'm about to break. Help me. And that's what we don't do. And I'm going to say it truthfully as Black people.
I mean, we don't. Like I can't say as a black community, we always stick to the stigma of what happens in the home stays in the home. What happened in the home stays in the home. Like, and it's like we have to break that as humans because it's like, okay, that's why certain traumas stick with certain people because it's like, okay, if I can't get the help outside my home, now I gotta bottle it up. Now I'm lashing out on people that don't even deserve it because I'm so used to living in the stigma of what happens in my home stays in it. I should talk about it amongst them, not my friends or family or who else or a therapist. And I feel like us black people, we need to get seek more therapy. Like we really do. Like, and it actually helps. Do you think people sweep too much of mental health under the rug?
They do. They sweep it underneath the rug like it's nothing. People would say, okay, you're using that as a scapegoat of getting out of probably going to jail or probably having to do any type of work. Oh, you trying to say this is happening to you. Me as a person, I suffer with mental illness and it's a day-to-day process. And a lot of people don't want to take heed to it and listen. They all want to tell me, hey, do this, do that, instead of saying, okay, do you need somebody to just listen to you, to just listen and no judgment and just listen to the words that are coming out, be that shoulder for you to cry on, or Sometimes when you feel like you have that day that you just think the whole world is against you, have that person that you can call and say, "Hey, I'm having a bad day. Can you please just come over, talk with me, and just help me calm down? Help my day be a better day."
That's all that matters. I feel like more people needs more people to listen. And the next topic is it's about since both of us have our because this is about mental health, so about the suicide attempt.
Mhm.
And so I'm gonna start off with mine a little bit, where mine ventured from my relationship and from work stress. And I'm gonna get on that too about work stress and mental and how that goes hand in hand. But it was along with work and then dealing with a relationship, just being on my own for the first time in a full committed relationship, and it buried a lot on me. Like being actually being thrown, I just threw myself out there without actually thinking of, okay, hey, is this really right for me? When the signs was telling me, like Vaughn said, you should wait. But I was just like, hey, I'm gonna just step out on faith, and I'm just go with my relationship. But at that moment, I won't, I'm smarter and wiser now. But at that moment, it was just like I just felt like, okay, well, maybe since he don't want me, I feel like nobody else will because I was capable of loving you the way that I wanted to love you. Now I can't even love myself no more to the point where I don't want to see myself on this earth. So since you don't want me, I think nobody else will. So I'm going to just end it all. But I can say the Lord kept me here. And with the power of prayer and you and my friends, that motivated me to keep pushing forward. So like, okay, Vontae, like it's a reason for you to be on this earth. Right.
Okay, with me, I tried a lot of times in my life to commit suicide, but I do believe the most troubling one was when you came in the room and you saw me. That was the most damaging one because I never wanted one of my kids to find me. Never. Never wanted one of my kids to see that their mom became weak because I supposed to have been the strong one. And I just lost it that day. I had a lot that was going on in my life with relationships, being gay, um, having a gay son, and I had family issues. I had issues in my life of things that happened to me when I was young that I never talked to no one about. And that one particular day, I just took a walk and I was at a church and I sat there and it was like God was talking to me, but also it was like more so the devil was more in my ear screaming at me that I couldn't hear exactly what God was saying to me. And it was like God was trying to tell me walk back home, but the devil just kept telling me keep walking, keep walking, keep walking, keep walking, walk into traffic, do this and do that. And when I took them pills and almost took my life and had to commit myself into the hospital, that was an eye opener for me because when I was talking to my psychiatrist and I had my kids around, it was like looking at my kids, y'all was looking at me like, hey, you are mom. We don't want to see you break like this anymore. We don't want you to feel like that you're less than anything. And that's how I constantly kept feeling throughout my life that I wasn't meant to be here. It was like anytime I walk into a room, I felt like people were talking about me. Didn't nobody like me, didn't nobody love me. And it just took over my mind. And I have my times that I still deal with it, but I have little things that I do to keep me from going to that brink in again. With the support of you and your brother and your sister, I have really made a great turnaround. Also, with my extended family, Tara, Miss Gloria, they all helped me and kept me grounded and let me know that anytime I needed to just talk, they was there for me. And I don't want to always burden my kids. And I don't like using the word burden.
Yeah, it sounds so bad.
Yeah, it sounds bad when you use the word burden, but it's not like I don't want to burden y'all. I just don't want y'all to see that I can be vulnerable. And when you become too vulnerable, people take advantage of that. And I never thought y'all would do that. I know y'all wouldn't do that to me, but it just feel like if I break in front of y'all, y'all would see that I'm less than a person. I'm not that super mom that y'all think that I am.
I can say, so my next question is, what was it like being in that headspace? And I can say being in that headspace of trying to commit suicide, it's very dark. It's very dark, and it's like you said, the devil take over. It's like bad thoughts and negativity just triumph over you, and it's like it takes a very strong person to get out of that situation. I feel like if you can get out of it and you prosper through it, I feel like that is congratulations, you did your job. Like you actually became better than that situation. Because I can't say some people don't make it out of it. Like they successfully finish it. But if you don't finish it, I feel like that's good. It must be a reason why you here and you just gotta find that reason. You might not find it at that moment, but later on when you wake up, you realize, okay, it must be a reason why I'm here because this happened. So what was you like in that headspace? Like what was your thought?
My thoughts in that headspace, it was bleak, dark, bleak, and I didn't see no way out. I kept being blinded by not trying to get out because it was like the devil was in my ear and he had a strong hold on me because I began to get weak. So it was like I had, instead of having God on one shoulder and the devil on one, I had the devil on both shoulders. And he was weighing hard on me that it was like an anvil that I was carrying on my back and shoulders, a real heavy weight that I was just carrying with me. And it was like everything in my mind, nothing was positive. Everything was negative. I didn't have any good thoughts that ran through my mind. I only had thoughts of, hey, this what you need to do. You need to go ahead on and end it. No one is gonna miss you. You are just a person that's taking up space.
I can say that's true. That's how I felt. I can say ever since it happened, I do look at life differently now because in certain situations, I can't say I look at it like, okay, I'm here now. I'm here now. I ain't about to go back to it. I ain't about to go back to it. I had an extra life now. I gotta become better than this situation. So I try to get away from the negativity, but knowing me, I entertain anything that negative come my way. I'm gonna entertain it. But as long as they don't interfere with my job, as long as don't interfere with my career, I do it. Like I'm with it. Like somebody want to pull up and try to be like, hey Monty, let's fight. I'm like, hey, come on. Like, what you want to do? But ain't gonna entertain it too much. Gonna be like, I ain't gonna I'm getting too old. And we out here breaking bones behind nobody. If I'm gonna fight you, we're gonna do a benefit fight for a great cause. Because if I'm gonna fight you and mess up my money, make up my face, Imma make sure that I get money from it. Like, we're not gonna fight and I don't get nothing from it. If I miss a day of work, that's money out of my pocket, money out of bills. So we gonna make it better. But do you look at life differently ever since that situation?
Yes, I do. I look at it totally different now. I have a lot of positive people that are in my corner that whenever I need to talk or vent, I got somebody to talk to. I even started a journal. I call it Ode to My Dad. It's just different letters that I write to him, letting him know what's going on with me, what's happening in my life. If something or someone is just stressing me, I talk to him because my dad always been there for me. It was like whenever I needed to talk, he was there, no judgment at all. He always used to tell me, "You're my daughter. Nothing you can do would disappoint me or make me mad." He was like, "Just keep living your life the best that you can." He said, "We didn't come here with instructions on how we're gonna make our life go. God didn't plan that for us. He didn't put it in our head and say, okay, you're gonna be this." You start to learn the older you get.
I mean, that's true. Cause I definitely bought my next question was, and do you have any coping mechanisms? But you definitely said you have a journal. I can say I had a journal, but it was my journal was from my past relationship and a little bit of now. And I can say when I look back on it and seeing how far that out, how depressed I was then, it makes me appreciate where I came now a little bit more because it just makes me feel like, dang, like Vonta, you was like low, like you was really in your feelings about this relationship. Like if I can go back and slap younger me, I would say, boy, get into podcasting. Start putting your thoughts into words, into a visual, like to see, because at that moment, if I could have been way more successful with my podcast back then, because I would have had a lot going that I could have talked about my past relationship. But hey, I live and I learn, and I'm here now to do the podcast. 'Cause I feel like then I probably wouldn't cherish the podcast. Now I'm actually gonna cherish it because I got more to talk about in real life situations to voice to people. And I feel like the next thing I should feel like jobs should pay more attention to mental health because I feel like jobs can cause mental stress, especially with any
Oh, yes.
job. Because I feel like no matter what job it is, people can compare, oh, your job is better than mine. No, a job is a job. It's gonna come with its set of stressors by itself. And I feel like jobs should very pay much attention to it. If you see your coworker is down, talk to them. Ask them, hey, what's going on? Don't try to bark at them and get them more work and more work and more work. If you see them, hey, what's wrong? You want to talk? Like that, I feel like that goes a long way.
But you also have to realize a lot of supervisors, they feel like, hey, I don't want to intervene or I don't want to poke into her life. If something is wrong, why not? Why not go if you see somebody, if you say, for instance, you're doing customer service and you're listening in on a call and you hear that co-worker's tone and it's dragging and it just they don't have any spirit in them. You you tell them, hey, I need you to get off the phone for a minute. Come talk to me. It seems like something is wrong. But they don't want to do that. They feel like if they do that, oh, I'm going beyond my job. What's wrong with going beyond your job?
They want us to go above and beyond to help customers. Why can't you go above and beyond to help your employee become a better employee? Because I feel like once you talk to a person, like you kept saying before, listening goes a long way. Because I feel like if you listen to your employee and come to them from an employee to employee standpoint and instead of a manager or an employee standpoint, take off that manager hat. Become human. Be one with your feelings. Be like, hey, I don't got to be a manager right now because we're talking. Because I feel like if you see a pattern within an employee, I feel like check up on it. Like my situation, for instance, when I quit my job because I felt like I was voicing my opinion about ideas about a job, about how
Mm,
to do a job better, but they won't listen to it. They kept saying, "Oh no, 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 we sticking to the same way. We're not changing." I feel like when a person tell you something and they keep telling you more a better way to do it, try it out. And then when a person act out because they bottle it up for so long because no one's listening to them now I'm looking crazy because y'all looking at me like, oh, now he acting out. I told you the reason why I wanted something changed, or either I can say I wanted something change. I wanted y'all to try my way to see if
Mhm.
it works for y'all. And if it works, it works. We can try it. If it don't, leave it alone. But I feel like jobs should have like mental health days. You think so?
Yeah, it should be days where they can tell a person, "Hey, we have like a fair, or we have a little meeting that we're having where you can come sit in and talk to someone if you're having a bad day." Because I was watching, I forgot the name of the movie, but it had Holly Berry in it, and she was a 911 operator. And I know what 911 operators, they have a little room that the operators can go in to decompress and just have that woosah and talk to somebody if they're having a bad day or if they had a call that was traumatic. I think a lot of businesses or companies, even the Fortune 500 companies, need to have a space for you to go at where you can meditate and just sit in the quiet and just make it that you release that day. Because it's like when we leave work, we're carrying that work home with us.
Hmm. They're not thinking about that. They keep saying, "Oh, leave your attitude at the door." You don't know what happened at my home or on my way to work to give me an attitude. So now I'm bringing that attitude from outside to work to all of y'all when all it took to just be like, okay, we're gonna have some mental health days where we're gonna, like you said, have a fair. We interact. We tell John, look, we shutting down for a day because hey, we need to care about our work. John keep saying we care about our workers. We care. If you care, y'all will care about our mental health. If a person is acting different, doing things different, and y'all need to check up on the employee. Like I know it's not their job to check up on a person, but it goes a long way if you see a pattern, especially if it's a repeat pattern where you see things. I know they probably can't see stuff when, if we working from home, but like you said, if they listening to a call and they see that, hey, your calls are down, you was up, now you down. I'm like, okay, yeah, we need to look into that because like, this not sounding right. Or if a person is messaging their employer and saying, hey, I'm not feeling it today with work. These customers getting on my nerves. Like these jobs take a mental stress on you. I feel like ever since COVID happened, tension's been higher with mental health because everybody got their own set of stresses with bills, relationships, work. All of that boils into one thing. And then it's like it's plopped onto you. Then it's like, okay, dang, like I don't got nowhere to take my anger out on. I don't got nowhere to release stress at. Work pissing me off. Home pissing me off. I don't got nowhere else to go with. So it's like all that building up. And it's like you like we don't want to use the word burning, but it's like we bottle it up and try to think we're gonna get past it. But it's like the whole time we just making the situation worse and making the volcano that we putting in ourselves erupt even more when it comes for that time for that volcano finally to hit that point.
And you are so right.
Like, 'cause I feel like I feel like I kept saying, jobs need to give us a mental health day. Like, I feel like that would go a long way. Like, because, like, for instance, you were talking about, okay, like, for instance, you were talking about the shooting that happened in our hometown, Virginia. Well, state. Yeah, I can't say with that shooting, I can't say that would I felt like from what I heard, it had to do something with mental stress. 'Cause I feel like for one, they said that he had a list of people he targeted. And I felt like if you already have a list, that means it's premeditated and something happened where like my best friend said, he said he felt like the boy was bullied. I mean, it could come from that because it's a lot that goes on with working because sometimes you have jobs where people is like jobs like high school. And
Yes, they got clicks.
yeah, and it's like certain people click up with certain people. Now I'm the type of person I would click up with anybody. I don't care what you is, how you look. what you eat don't make me shit. So therefore, if you over there skinning cats, I'm gonna let you skin cats on your own. I just come to hang with you, but I'm not coming to your house because I don't want to see anything out the ordinary. Because that's your life. What you do is you do what you do. But if they need a character witness, I will definitely rat you out. I'm sorry. But it is what it is. I mean, I'm gonna let them know real talk. But I look, yeah, this boy used to scare cats. So obviously he had a crazy behavior. So I kept my distance. I was nice to him though.
Like they say, there's a lot of Jeffrey Dahmers out there. When I watched that, I was like, it. You begin to notice and be like, okay, if you see certain quirks on a person, you know not to cross that person, and you know not to go towards that person. You know to go the other direction. But a lot of people nowadays they pick. They
Yeah.
pick. They see one little thing that's wrong with you, and they just pick. You can have a missing eye, and they just feel like, oh, that person is a bad person. They eye missing. I wonder what happened to make them lose that eye. Oh, I don't want to hang with them because they got that missing eye. Oh, this, that. We all got something that is not right with us. That's why a lot of us are taking it and getting the BBLs,
Mhm.
PPLs, DDLs, getting everything done to our body, face, neck, everything that you're coming out, and you're coming out plastic that when you die, you might as well just get cremated because your body ain't your body. But I'm gonna get off that subject because I'm moving on to a different subject. But it does a lot with your mental health when people pick on you.
Oh yeah, that's true because I can't say he probably was picked on when he was younger, and then
Hmm.
that boiled down to adulthood because, like they say, some baggage you just don't get rid of as a child. I mean, as an adult, you still carry it on with you. But it's about time with certain stuff we gotta let it go. I know I got my fair share of stuff I need to let go, like because it's causing me mental stress because I'm holding on to past baggage from childhood and I need to let go. That the reason why I be lashing out on certain stuff because I just feel like, oh, I didn't been picked on for so long. So it's like I'm still in that mental headspace that I gotta get you before you get me. So it's
Hmm.
like I always be on go when it comes to stuff. I just feel like, oh no, you ain't gonna get the last word. Oh, you're not gonna get the first hit. I'm gonna get the first hit. Oh, and it's like I gotta let that mentality go because it's just like I'm becoming a negative setback for my own self because I'm causing my own self mental stress by just not letting stuff go, just being able to just not engage in negativity so fast. Just be like, okay, you said that. I might as well just let it go. But me being me, it's hard to let certain stuff go because I feel like if it comes my way, I'ma handle it. I feel like don't bring it my way because if you dish it, you better be sure you better eat that dish because Levante gonna serve it to you hot or cold.
Yeah, that is true about you. You a lot like your mom. It's times that stuff I don't let people get away with no more. I I feel like if you box me into that corner, I'm not gonna back down. I'm gonna come out fighting. I'm gonna come out fighting hard, and it may hurt you in the long run, but I'm not trying to hurt you. I'm just trying to get my head space together because I feel like you are pushing me and pushing me to the point that I don't know what I'm thinking up here. I'm not really thinking up here. I'm not using my mind like I supposed to and knowing, okay, when a person fuss at you or just keep pushing, 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 you need to sometimes just walk away and say, okay, I need to cool off. But sometimes you can walk away and people still will walk behind you. And you
Mhm.
like, okay, you I'm trying to de-escalate this and you still walking behind me. That's another part of mental health. When people just keep pushing your button, pushing your button, pushing your button, it's like, okay, I have nothing, no way of releasing this. They need to have a gym or something where you because they have that thing in Virginia Beach where you can go and destroy
Oh yeah, the
stuff.
destruction room.
Yeah, the destruction room. They need that, and that need to be free, or they need to say people that are really stressed, you need to come in
Yeah,
here
they need
and
to have
break
it with your
stuff.
health insurance.
Yes,
Add
have
that
which
to it.
yes, because sometimes I feel like I just want to break something instead of me screaming or want to hurt somebody. I feel like if I got somewhere I can go to release that anger, I'm gonna be good. But now I know how to just sit and just contemplate on what if I do something to hurt that person, the consequences that are gonna go behind me hurting that person.
Hmm. Well, I'm gonna sum up this podcast. Um, Today was an episode about mental health. You learned a lot about me, and you learned a lot about my mother. And
Ah,
I want to know what's your thoughts on the podcast, like your ending thoughts, like how you feel about it.
I felt like it went good. I really enjoyed this. It's just like when we talk here, when I come visit you, and we have our mother son talks about our day at work.
Yes.
So
I keep telling
yeah,
people, people be scared to talk on the podcast. I be like, it's just like talking on the phone. It's just like the same thing, except for it's just recorded. We're just having a conversation that's recorded. You can just still be yourself with or without it. But it is what it is. I'm gonna still have some more people up here. And everyone knows where to find me on Instagram. And yeah, Instagram, Twitter, what was said underscore.
follow my
Snapchat,
baby.
what was said without the underscore, and on Facebook, Levante Saunders. And everything will be in my bio in my podcast section, so you know where to find me. And where can they find you?
They can find me on Facebook or Instagram, Nakia Grill Saunders, real girl in the house.
Okay, everyone, thanks for listening. And if you're a new listener, thanks for coming to the podcast. Share if you care, repost and repost. And everybody going, I'm leaving on a good note. Everyone have a positive day. And remember, decompress after your long day, okay? Because this podcast be giving me mental stress, but ain't gonna let it because it's gonna give me money at the end of the day. Ain't gonna let it stress me.
I like it.